A way of life. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Just wanted to come on here to talk about Mars entering Aries. So Mars will enter Aries on June 27th, and it'll be there until January 7th of 2021. That's 6 months. And Mars will go retrograde on September 7th until November 14th. So this is a rare transit, as it has been this entire year. Specifically Mercury being in Pisces. So any kind of Pisces transits, because we're coming out of the Piscean age, is huge. So when Mercury was in Pisces for that extended period of time, so Geminis and Virgos are getting some kind of upgrade. And then Neptune is in Pisces, which is its own sign. And that's been in there for, I think, even well before we had the Cancer Capricorn nodal access point. So that's getting an upgrade. We've also had Gemini and Venus, which was in Pisces. Mercury, its ruling planet, was in Pisces. So Gemini is getting an upgrade. Venus is ruled by Taurus, and right now Taurus is in Uranus, so Taurus is getting an upgrade. And then Capricorn, all the Capricorn transits, and the stellium in Capricorn in January, and just this entire year, plus the 2 years from the nodal axis, Capricorn's getting an upgrade. All these signs experiencing these extra long transits, and now Mars, so that's Aries. Those signs are probably feeling these changes on a deeper level. But the outcome is going to be great. The transformation and the changes that we make really are going to be worth it. But it might feel harsh for now, but we can't go into this new cycle with old conscious patterns. So it's going to be worth it. Mars rules the first house and the sign Aries. So Mars is the god of war. It rules fighting, defense. It's how you impose on others, how we do what we need to get what we want. It's action, reaction, and in a very combative way. I'm thinking about all the Aries people that I know. Some might get upset about this, though. Some Mars people are like, I am not like that. But another way to look at that is that Mars people are go-getters, right? So it's our strength, our force, and determination. It rules the head and everything on it. So the brain, everything in the brain, eyes, nose, mouth, ears. Okay? The last time we had this transit was in 1988. And I don't know what was going on at that time, but it might be really good to kind of even go back and think about, especially with this being a part of the Cancer eclipse energy, and Cancer rules child psychology, for the people who were children back then. I'm an 80s baby. What was you going through? What patterns were you picking up? What conscious, things are you doing now that you got from back in that time? And how can you change that, right? This is about transmutation with Capricorn and Pluto. So how can you how are you seeing that differently to change it? What are you doing to move forward in the change, make changes? Um, yeah. This is how we go after what we want, how we assert ourselves, um, our leadership, confidence, and how we go after our dreams. Um, Overall, this is preparing us for a powerful new beginning, a new start, um, a new adventure. Mars is about adventures, and the energy to move forward. Mars also rules guns, war, army, police, um, fire. It's a fire sign. Um, the protests, um, the looting, um, so there's a great possibility that, you know, all of these things could be coming up somehow, some way. Um, but we'll have some kind of motivation um, to move forward in our dreams, goals, anything that we're working on. Once Mars moves into Aries, we're going to get like an energy boost to move forward in whatever it is that we're doing, wherever this energy is taking place for you, whatever area of life this is going to be affecting. We're going to get some kind of motivation, energy boost. Motivation isn't even nearly cut it. Um, Mars is a very fast energy. Um, and it's gonna feel good, I think, for the most part. You know, we're gonna we're gonna feel good about what it is we're doing, what we're working on, what we're moving towards, and be hopeful in that. However, after the week of the 21st, actually after the 27th, Mars will start to slow down to station retrograde. And this is going to be about making sure we're not shifting and changing with old patterns, old Mars energy. So we're going to have to go back. So being very clear about what you want, who you are. Not going into things saying, but I've always done it this way. What do you believe about who you are, or who you've been working on for the past 2 years, especially because it's taking place again with this Cancer Capricorn nodal axis. So and this is the final of this axis. This Cancer eclipse is the last eclipse for this axis. So what did you learn from that nodal axis? And do you believe that, you know, all the changes that you made over the last 2 years, is that who you really want to be? What does that look like for you? Is it comfortable, right? Because Cancer is about being comfortable, especially being comfortable at home in your body, in your inner self. Because this Mars transit is starting a new 2-year cycle based on higher consciousness, not the expired parts of yourself. This transit is going to bump up against Capricorn, Jupiter, and Pluto. First of all, I will not be an astrologer at this time. Okay? I just want to put that out there. Mars really is no joke. It's really not an energy that you want to fuck with. And quite frankly, whenever it gets into Pluto and it has any kind of transits with Pluto, nope, I will not be an astrologer at that time. Okay? Um, so it's going to have it's going to bump up against these Capricorn transits 3 times. So August 3rd, Mars will square Jupiter retrograde, Pluto retrograde, and Saturn retrograde. I don't want anything to do with it. Just don't. This is a massive energy. This could be battles, inflammation, power struggles, different intentions with leadership, and different desired outcomes. With everything that we're juggling and all the changes going on in the world, we're going to be talking about them, discussing them, changing them again, trying stuff out and taking it back. It's like a kind of like a testing. Like we're testing a product, you know, like, do we really want this for our future moving forward? With all these changes we're going through, do we really want to work from home? Why? Why do we want to work from home? What does that look like? What's the plan? You know, what's the structure? Capricorn wants to know, what's the system? Like, how are we going to do this? Mars is a very selfish energy, but Capricorn is like, it's in the 10th house. It's in the world. That's the world stage. It's got bigger systems, bigger dynamics for a longer period of time, as Capricorn has been in this energy. So we may feel like anger, frustration, because it's just not time to move forward yet. This is a process unfolding. This is showing us how we deal with authority figures, legal matters, people you might have to answer to, job changes, but it's just not time, right? So we can kind of be experiencing all these changes and seeing like, oh, I always knew I didn't want to be at this job anyways. And now that, you know, I'm actually seeing it and having that Mars ready to go, you might want to quit and leave, but you want to hold on to it for security purposes, financial reasons, you know, whatever it is, it's just not time to move forward. The universe is really going to be asking us to look at how our ego responds to cycles and forces that are bigger than us. That's going to be hard. Like normally when I'm doing a reading and I'm explaining to somebody about a really big transit that they could possibly experience, I'm like, you want to get ahead of this and start coming up with your own plan and working out your own things, what you can do anyways, right? The things that you have control over, control them. You know, work them out, work through them. Because if you don't and you just sit on your laurels and let this time pass by like nothing's happening, the universe is going to do it for you, and that's going to be way worse. I'm not interested. I will not be an astrologer at this time. Late September, so the 27th, September 27th to October 18th, this is going to be repeating the same issues. Aries and Capricorn will feel this the most. You will feel this in whatever area Mars and Capricorn are in for you. And then this will happen again on Mars will square Pluto, but not Jupiter and Saturn, just Pluto. And this is going to happen on December 22nd. This is the last of the energy, which is war energy, and I'll keep researching on this and get you more information as we get there. December is really a long way from here. I'm going to keep talking about this and keep working on this. In the meantime, what I am working on is, if you sign up to the Patreon page, you can get, I'm gonna post Mars through the houses, Mars through the signs, so that you can get your chart and start doing your personal, start working through your personal chart and seeing where this stuff's coming up. Get to know who you are. Get comfortable with knowing who you are. Get comfortable with knowing where you're uncomfortable. Because the universe is coming for us, y'all. And she ain't holding no bars, okay? This is not going to be an easy transit. I'm sitting here and I'm laughing. I'm being playful. This is it. Like, this is pretty much the end of the line. When I did the Cancer eclipse video, Mars is going to have a transit there, and I did a smaller piece, like, just focusing on Donald Trump's chart. So I did, I did Donald Trump's chart, I did the chart for America, and I did the chart for Donald Trump's son. And I'm not posting it. I opted not to because I really don't want to be in that energy. But I'm going to tell you what I saw. Is the possibility for assassination of the president, because it's his political campaign. So the possibility for assassination there shows up 3 times in their chart for America. Once in his and in his son's. Why did I do his sons? For people out there who may not know, when you want to see the death of yourself, you go through you look at your children's chart. Okay, so that's why I had to look at his son's chart. War, civil war, the possibility for war and civil war are also there. Not to mention, America alone is going through its own, having a lot of returns. Pluto return, Saturn return, Jupiter return. This is their year for that. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to speak that into an existence, but the possibility is there, and I think as a collective, we really have to start seeing what we can do as individuals to impose against that energy, and the best way to do that is to get to know who you are. So I'm working on the Mars stuff. I'm also working on a blog for Mars retrograde. And I just finished taking a webinar to talk about work and how work's going to work and business things that are going to change for 2020, 2021, and 2022. So I'll definitely be keeping you guys posted on all this stuff. And hopefully, again, as usual, I hope you find this stuff helpful. Peace.